So, welcome students. Today we move on to the third part of your geography lesson, that's unit 3. We are just about to learn about the crops that are cultivated in India. The major crops of India are divided into 4 major categories as follows. Food crops, you have wheat, which is godume, maize, which is cholam, rice, arasi, millets, sirudhaniyam, pulses, paruppu. Under cash crops, we have sugar cane. You already know what sugar cane is, right? Tobacco, cotton, jute, oil seeds, etc. Plantation crops are tea, coffee and rubber. Horticultural crops, fruits, flowers and vegetables. Under food crops, due to its large population, Indian culture is largely dominated by food crops. So, we know India is a country with a huge population. So, we meet our demands by crops. First one is rice. Rice is an indigenous crop. It is a very important crop of India. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. So, the country which has rice is China first and we stand second. It is mainly a tropical crop growing mainly with mean temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius and annual rainfall of 150 centimeters. So, the temperature should be around 24 degrees Celsius, and for the whole year if you get a rainfall of about 150 centimeter, that place is very suitable for rice. Deep fertile clayey or loamy soil. So, if you have seen people who harvest rice, you can see that the soil should be clayey, are well suited for rice cultivation. It also needs abundant supply of cheap labor. So, if you want to cultivate an acre of land of rice, you need lots of people to work in it. So, you need to have even cheap labor, so that we can do the cultivation easily. Rice in India is sown in 3 ways. One is broadcasting, ploughing or drilling and transplanting. So, due to increased use of high yielding variety, so we called seeds, there are different types of seeds. This is called a high yielding variety. That means if you use those type of seeds, you will get good yield. Yield means produce. CR Dan 205, AR Dan 306, CRI 451, etc. This most of us are not familiar, but you know that rice is of different types, and each one is given a name, and these are the names. Many of the indigenous varieties were disappeared. So, most of the commonly found varieties have now not in use. In 2016, the first 10 leading rice producing states are West Bengal, first in India, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Assam and Haryana. So, you can see most of the rice is being produced in the northern part of India. Wheat is godume. Wheat is the second most important food crop of the country. All of us, you know that in our house we use mostly rice and then followed by wheat. It accounts for 22% of the total area and 34% of the total population of food grains in the country. So, it requires 10 to 15 Celsius at the time of sowing. So, when you sow wheat seeds, the temperature should be 20 to 25 degrees Celsius and 10 to 15 degrees Celsius and 20 to 25 degrees Celsius should be the temperature when you take off the grain. Over 85% of India's wheat production comes from 5 states. One is Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Here again, if you see, wheat is not probably found in southern parts of India. We have the cultivation done only in the major parts of India. Apart from these regions, the black soil tract of Deccan. So, if you see the Deccan plateau, it has got a black soil. That part where covering parts of Maharashtra and Gujarat also contribute to the major wheat production. So, you can see the diagram there. So, only during the northern parts of India you can see wheat being grown. Jowar is it's like cholam, okay, maize, jowar, it's a kind of millet, is a third important food of our country. It is an indigenous plant of Africa. The plant has a tendency to grow in adverse climatic conditions. So, even in the worst condition, the plant is supposed to grow. Its grains are rich in carbohydrates, proteins, minerals and vitamins. So, nowadays we see people who want to reduce weight, they use what is called jowar. Hence, it provides cheap food to a large section of the poor people. It is also used as fodder in many parts of the country. So, fodder is giving food for animals. Jowar is essentially a crop of peninsular India. Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh are the leading producers of jowar. So, next one is bajra. Bajra is kambu, we saw bajra. Bajra is an indigenous plant of Africa again. This forms the staple food of the poor people. Its stalks are used as fodder for cattle and for thatching purposes. So, stalk is that even for rice you would have seen that holding part where you have like that is called as a stalk. So, that they use it to feed the cattle and even for thatching, that for roofing purposes they use. Bajra is a crop of dry region. Rajasthan is the largest producer of bajra, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Next one is barley. Barley, var godume they say, it is a dry form of godume. Barley is one of the most important cereals of our country. Besides being poor man's diet, it is used for making barley water, beer and whiskey. So, if you see in people who are poor those days, they used to have a lot of barley. When they do not have rice, they go for barley, which is a cheap food. Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh are the two leading producers of barley. Next we have pulses. Pulses means parpu. Pulses include a large number of crops which are mostly leguminous and rich in vegetable protein. They are used as human food and feeding cattle. So, you know that we use both for people and for the cattle. They fix atmospheric nitrogen. So, if you see people who do cultivation, they will do rice and then they will do for some months they will do pulses, then they will go back because that will fix nitrogen content in the soil and hence are usually rotated with other crops. India is the largest producer of pulses. The next one is cash crops. The crops which are cultivated for commercial purpose. What do you mean by commercial? In the name of earning money, they are called as cash crops. These crops include sugarcane, karumbu, tobacco, that is tobacco is the kind of a betel leaf where which is being produced all over India. Fiber crops, that is cotton, jute and mesta, and oil seeds from where you get your oil, those kinds of seeds. Sugarcane. It is the second largest producer in the world. This crop provides raw material for the sugar industry, which is the second largest industrial category of our country. So, we are the second largest producer of sugarcane. What it gives is, it gives raw material for sugar industry. Besides providing sugar, gur and khandasari, it supplies molasses for alcohol industry. This you will be learning in your higher classes, wherein you keep sugar cane, you ferment it, it becomes a molasses, and this is used for preparation of alcohol, and bagasse for paper industry. India is ranked third in sugar production in the world after Cuba and Brazil. A very important note here. So, we are ranking the third in the world. First place goes to Cuba, second followed by Brazil, third is India. At the state level, Uttar Pradesh is the leading producer of sugarcane, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. Cotton. Cotton is spongy. Cotton is the most important cash crop of India. It provides raw material to the largest industry of India. India ranks second next to China in the production of cotton. About 79% of the total area of production in the country were contributed by four states, that is Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Punjab. So, nearly we get from 4 states we are able to get cotton. Jute. Jute, I hope this is some kairu we say, that is called as jute. It is a tropical fiber crop, grows well in alluvial soil. It provides raw material for the jute industry. It is used for manufacturing gunny bags. Gunny bags is sakupai, carpets that you use in front of the home, hazen, ropes is kairu, strings, rugs, clothes, tropolines are the outer covering, the top sheet that we call is called tropolines, upholstery, etc. West Bengal is the leading state both in cultivation and production of jute. The other cultivators of jute are Bihar, Assam and Meghalaya. So, you can see the diagram there. Jute is in light green, where you can see on the right part of the Indian map. Oil seeds. Oil seeds, the premier source of fat in the Indian diet, are derived from number of crops. Now, oil seeds are like when you see when you have oil like groundnut oil, tenga enne, kadla enne and all those, that comes from a seed only. So, that is a source of fat. So, groundnut, rapeseed, mustard, sesame, linseed, sunflower, castor seed, cotton seed, niger seed, etc. Out of this, most of us are familiar with groundnut. So, what are the things we have? Sesame is nallenne, mustard is kadigenne, and sunflower oil, all that we are familiar with. These provide oil and oil cake, which are used for making lubricants. Lubricants is, if you have a two-wheeler, you would know when something is stuck, we use a kind of grease to make it smooth. That is called as a lubricant. Varnish, medicine, perfume, candles, soaps, manure is fertilizer, and cattle feed. Gujarat is India's largest oilseeds producing state. In groundnut production, that is groundnut, India is the second largest producer in the world after China. The next one we have is plantation crops. Plantation crops are cultivated for the purpose of exports. They are cultivated in large estates on hilly slopes. So, mostly these are done for export purposes like tea, coffee and rubber, and spices are the major plantation crops of India. And then we move on to the tea. Tea is an evergreen plant that mainly grows in tropical and subtropical climates. Tea is a labor intensive and grows faster under light shade. So, we know that for plantation of tree we need lots of human labor, and we have to have light shade, not a heavy sun. Tea plants require high rainfall, but its root cannot tolerate waterlogging. So, if you have seen tea, it is not grown in straight lands. So, it should have a slope because water should not stand there. Two major varieties of tea are cultivated in India. They are Bohea, that is Bohea, which came from China, Assamica, which is from India. A number of hybrid varieties, hybrid is mixed varieties, have been developed by mixing these two. India is the second largest producer of tea after China in the world. Assam is the largest producer of tea in India. So, you have to remember that. Other states are Tamil Nadu, Kerala and West Bengal. Coffee. Coffee is grown in shade and it grows effectively in the altitudes. Altitudes means heights of that place should be between 1000 and 1500 meter above mean sea level. So, there are again two main varieties of coffee, that is Arabica, which is high quality cultivated in India, and Robusta, which is an inferior quality. Inferior means low, okay, that is a high quality, this is a low quality. India is the 7th largest producer of coffee globally, that means worldwide. Karnataka is the leading producer of coffee in India. It produces 71% in India and 2.5% in the world. Source Coffee Board of India gave this information in 2018. Rubber. Rubber plantations were first established in Kerala in 1902. It needs hot as well as wet climatic conditions, which temperature about 20 degrees Celsius and rainfall should be around 300 centimeter. Most of the land under rubber belongs to small land holders. The major rubber growing areas are Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So, those are islands. spices. Spices is we use that for cooking. So you should be knowing about spices, which is cardamom, cloves. We say cardamom, cloves, patta, krambu, lavangam. All those are called as spices. Melagu, even ginger, inji, all this. India has been world famous for its spices since ancient times, from the past. These spices mostly are used for flavoring. Flavoring is for smell, and tampering. Tampering is talipun, we say in Tamil, right? Cooked food, and for preparing medicines as well as dyes. Pepper, milagu, chilies is green chili, turmeric is what you use at home for cooking, ginger, inji, cardamom, cloves, and we have cardamom, cloves, and areca nut are the major spice cultivated in India. Kerala is the leading producer of spices in India. So you know that Kerala is world famous for its spices. Horticulture crops. It refers to the cultivation of fruits, flowers, and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are important supplement to the human diet. So when we prefer another form of eating rather than rice and wheat, what do we eat is fruits and vegetables, as they provide essential minerals. They give us a lot of minerals, vitamins, and fibers. Narsattu, fiber means narsattu, required for maintaining health. India is in the second position in the production of fruits and vegetables. So go through crops and also the different types of crops that we have learned today, and so this is a very important question. So just go through the lesson. So now we move on to livestock. Livestock is an integral component of the farming system in India. The livestock sector, that's a group, is socially and economically very significant due to its multifunctional outputs and contribution to the social cultural security. It also helps to improve food and nutritional security by providing nutrient rich food products, generate income and employment, and act as a cushion against crop failure, provide drought power and manure inputs to the crop subsector. So here if you see, so when you don't have crops growing, then we can raise animals, right? So that's what we call it as livestock. So first one is cattle. Cattle constitute, you know, like in villages you see people grazing cattle, right? That is a source of income for them. Cattle constitute 37.3% of livestock population in India. India has second largest cattle population after Brazil at world level. Cattle population in India belongs to different breeds. There are different kinds of cattle. These include milch breed, draught breed, mixed or general breed. Goats. The goat is the poor man's cow, providing milk, meat, skin and hair. So we aren't well versed with the word milk for goats, but generally people had milk from goats. We use the meat of goat, we use the skin of it and the hair. Buffaloes, we all know this word very well. Buffaloes are of important source of milk supply for India. Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of buffaloes, which is 28.2%, followed by Rajasthan, which is only 9.6%, and Andhra Pradesh, which is only 7.9%. And then we move on to so livestock census. First livestock census was conducted in dairy cattle census in 1919. Okay, and dairy, meat and wool production. Dairy is products which we get from milk are called as dairy. According to 2016-17 census held by state or UT Animal Husbandry Department, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, they are good at these three. While looking at the meat, that is for dairy products, this is for meat, Uttar Pradesh is the leading producer following Maharashtra and West Bengal. The leading state in wool production is Rajasthan, which is followed by Karnataka. And now we move on to fisheries, that is fish. Okay, Fisheries in India are a very important economic activity, so it's a money making activity and a flourishing, and it's a developing sector with varied resources and potentials. Fishing in India is a major industry in its coastal states, coastal along the coast of India, employing over 14 million people. It produces about 3% of world's fish and occupies second place among the fish producing nations of the world after China. So, China stands first. It also helps in augmenting food supply, generating employment, raising nutritional levels. So, you know, fish is very good for nutrition and earning valuable foreign exchange. So, we can exchange fish with other countries. So, there are two types. One is marine or sea fishery, which is, you know, from the sea when you catch fish, it is called marine. Inland or freshwater fisheries. So, you know, kolam and all that we catch, right, and we even grow fishes, that is called as inland or freshwater fishes. The next we move on to the marine or sea fisheries. It includes coastal, offshore and deep sea fisheries mainly on the continental shelves. Kerala leads in the marine fish production in India. So, when fishes are caught, when they are caught from the coastal areas, from the deep sea, they are called as marine or sea fisheries, and Kerala stands first. Inland or freshwater fisheries, that is when we get fishes from rivers, lakes, canals, reservoirs, ponds, tanks, etc. They are sources of freshwater fisheries. About 50% of the country's total fish production comes from the inland fisheries, and Andhra Pradesh is the leading producer in India. In India, the important varieties of fish caught by the fishermen are catfish, herrings, mackerels, perches, eels, mullets, etc. Major issue faced by farmers in India: small and fragmented land holdings. The problem of small and fragmented holdings, that is farmers, they do not have huge acres of land, most of them they do it in small level, that is what we call fragmented holdings, is most serious in densely populated and intensively cultivated states in India. So, population is high, but we are able to do it only in small fragments. High cost of input, so they have to put lots and lots of money into cultivation. Good quality seeds are out of reach for many small and marginal farmers due to their high price. So, if they wanted high quality seeds, it is of too much cost. So, local farmers, they are not able to reach up to that level. And the second reason is infertile soil. The soil is not fertile up to that level. Indian soils have been used for growing crops over thousands of years without caring much for replenishing. So, we do not really take into advantage of maintaining the soil well. This has led to depletion and exhaustion of soils, resulting in low productivity. So, most of the places they grow the soil, but they do not give lot of time to make the soil look fertile. Lack of irrigation, that is water. Only 1/3 of the cropped area falls under irrigated area. So, they get only 1/3 of our cultivated land has good rainfall. To make agriculture reliable, irrigation facility has to be developed. So, if we want to develop agriculture, we have to develop irrigation. Lack of mechanization means tools. In spite of the large scale mechanization of agriculture in some part of the country, most of the agricultural operations in larger parts are carried on by human hand using simple and conventional methods. So, when you are trying to do cultivation in a large area, you should not be relying on human people where it will take long time. So, you need to go for machines. And most of our Indian farmers, they stick to that simple handmade and conventional old tools for that, which is also a lack of mechanization. Soil erosion. Erosion is when the soil is taken away because of water, rain and all that, we call it as erosion. Large tracts of fertile land suffer from soil erosion by wind and water. So, when wind blows, the soil is being eroded, taken off. When there is rainfall, Agricultural marketing. So when agriculture is being done, we need to market it and sell it, right? That is lacking. Due to the absence of sound marketing facility, the farmers have to depend on local traders and middlemen for the disposal of their farm products, which is sold at low price. Besides, there is a fluctuation in the price of agricultural products. So two things happen. Say for example, you go to a remote village where they cultivate millets and all that. They cannot sell it in a place like metropolitan places like Chennai. So what they do is they go for local people, they sell it there, they take it for low price, but they sell it for a huge amount of money. Inadequate storage facility. So they are not able to stock and sell it. Storage facilities in the rural areas are either totally absent or grossly inadequate. So it is totally absent. Say for example, an acre of rice is being cultivated, they don't know how to stock it, they don't have place to stock it. Under such conditions, the farmers are compelled to sell their products immediately after the harvest, irrespective of the condition of the market. Inadequate transport. Another major problem is transport. One of the main handicaps with Indian agriculture is the lack of cheap and efficient means of transportation. So they cannot transport their goods from villages to cities. Scarcity of capital. So the major problem here is the investment that they make, they have less. Agriculture is an important industry which requires a huge capital, huge money. The role of capital plays a major role in the purchase of advanced farm machineries and equipments. So we need a lot of money to get machineries and equipments. So go through the lesson.